Hi, men. Welcome back to the Heroic Pledge. I'm Dominic, joined by Chris from Team Heroic Men. We're talking about the 1 million men vision for this Heroic Pledge. Tell you what, I learned a piece of information that just lit me up. We're looking at the next 10 years. We've got the Jubilee 2033 around the corner. Well, in the next decade. It's going to be 2,000 years from the year 33. It's a special year. It's an awesome opportunity for us to step up right now and start doing something. And so our team sat down and looked at everything that men are being asked to do all over the country. And what we realized is the one thing nobody's being asked to do is a extremely simple way to build their faith in God, build their care for each other, and how to stay in touch with each other regularly, and then how to grow their own little brotherhoods in their parish. This is not about trying to go social online and go viral. Don't do that. This is not even about showing up and papering, all the cars at your local parish with an invite to join your local, ministry to men or something. It's not even that. It starts with who are the men that you literally think about most in your life. Men maybe who need you, who you care for, and so you commit to pray for them before you even tell them anything. You just show up and start praying for them. And then at some point, when it feels right, then you reach out and let them know, hey man, I've been praying for you. I've promised to pray for you forever. I've got your back. Anytime you need to call me, you're in my favorites, call me and I will take your call. Or if you're in trouble, something difficult's going on, just text me and say, hey, you got 8 minutes? And I will stop whatever's going on. I will give you those 8 minutes. That's it, right? You pray for men 30 seconds a day and you start building a friendship around the men who matter to you. You don't go and tell everybody, you keep it small. Well, here's the cool thing that happens. We want to reach 1 million men with this pledge. That's it. I mean, yeah, that's a big number. But again, the ask is not huge. The ask is very focused and it's very intentional. Prayer for 10 men. You do it. You start without asking anybody, without telling anybody. Well, look what happens. To go from 1 man to 1 million men, it's only 6 steps. That's pretty incredible. 1 man prays for 10 men. And then at some point he says, hey, men, here's what I've been doing. I want to challenge you or invite you. Make your own shield wall of 10 men, your own honor guard. These are the men who may show up when it's time for your funeral and they're going to carry your casket. Who are those men? These are men you love and trust, loved and trusted you. You're going to start praying for them right now. You're going to start building brotherhood with them right now. And you ask each of those 10 men, each of them start praying for 10. And then at some point, each of them will invite. Look how fast this starts scaling. We're now like, 100? This is that 100 then asks 10. This is now 1,000. So Heroic Men is founded by the Catholic Men's Leadership Alliance, Chris. We started as an alliance for a reason. Let's get into a little bit of that story and why this pledge is the best thing that we could craft after studying everything ministries to men have been doing for the last, since the pandemic. Let's talk about the story of an alliance and what Heroic Men is for this alliance.
That idea of alliance, there's a ton of groups out there, a ton of people out there who are doing great work, right? And so this isn't business, this is ministry. So why on earth would you compete with these people? Why would you try to get somebody to stop doing something that's working so they can do your thing, right? There's just no sense in it. We're workers in the same vineyard of the Lord. We've seen these ministries that are successful. We've seen these groups that are particularly effective, and they all have a few things in common. And core principle that's in common is the idea of discipleship, the focus on what am I here to do? I'm not trying to drive numbers. I'm not trying to find the coolest, most entertaining, most excited thing. I'm trying to make disciples. So what is that? We break it down one further step. Disciples are people who are close to God, who have real men around them, real brotherhood, and who are engaged in handshake outreach, right? And that handshake piece is key because anybody can put a blast out online, right? We all hate getting those. Handshake outreach meaning, hey, I'm in your face. I can touch your hand. Like there's a real connection taking place there. As we've looked at these groups and figured out, okay, this is kind of the core that binds us. Well, we figured, well, listen, let's invite men to join forces on that front, right? Whether I'm part of, the Knights of Columbus, whether I'm part of that Man Is You or Men of Christ or Man Up, or there's group after group, again, all doing great work. What if we all took this pledge, right? What if we all came together on this central theme and made this commitment in our personal lives, right? So whether I'm going to a Bible study, whether I'm watching this video or that video within the small group that I'm a part of, I have this personal level as well, right?
Since the pandemic, Heroic Men has been this small team that has been reverse engineering why ministries are successful all over the country, and then bringing that together and turning that into training and programs. And one of the things that has become most valuable is the resources that we're creating and then giving away. And the number one thing that everybody has been When they learn about Heroic Men, for example, they learn about the app or the books or our certification programs or now our magazine that keeps turning heads and turning hearts. And people ask, well, what does it mean to be a heroic man? And we've kind of been kicking that around for years. Well, we think we finally figured it out. We finally figured out what it takes to be a heroic man. It is these three tenets. If you don't have any one of these, we don't think it works. Heroic man is not somebody who's prepared to, be a Captain America, jump off a bridge, serve in wartime. Anybody is able to step up and practice the virtues of heroism. And there are all kinds of definitions of heroism. It's why we have Heroic Stories as a podcast and a Heroic Hotline as a podcast and Men Answering the Heroic Call. We're all trying to talk around this and get a whole bunch of different examples and ideas because there are all kinds of different men. We think we've distilled it down to the three that matter most, these three tenets: daily prayer, building a brotherhood. No man goes through life alone. It is not good for men to be alone. And then regular outreach. With this pledge, Heroic Men is working to raise up all of the ministries. We're here to serve all of the ministries to men across North America. So take this pledge, invite your men to take it. We believe and we've built this so that when you invite your local group and your local ministry to take this pledge, they will instantly start praying for the men in your area, men that you know, and then invite them to come and join your group. Invite them to build up the life in your parish. We're not asking you to come and build up heroic men. We're here to serve and support you to build up your ministries so that together, this alliance that we serve of ministries, we're not here to compete with you. We're here to support and to serve and to stand by and create the resources to help you win and help you succeed. All so that together, as ministries, we can stand shoulder to shoulder and reach this goal of 1 million men by 2033.
We've seen this happening in men's lives where when they've started these habits, again, within their own group or within their own entity, right? There's a certain amount of momentum there, but I love your analogy of a shield wall. What makes a shield wall effective? It's not that Hercules is part of the wall, right? The virtue is in the brothers standing together, right? It's in the coordination and the unity of the soldiers. The reality is, I don't know anybody in any ministry who wouldn't want their men praying daily, praying for other men by name, reaching out to those men, right? And then inviting others. I mean, again, these are so foundational. And as that happens, you really do see lives transform, right? Because men start relying on God, right? A little bit more. Men start, like you said, recognizing I have men around me, right? I'm thinking of other men, checking in with other men. For all of the technology and innovation that we have, we somehow have less time than ever. So just the notion that somebody gets 15 seconds of your mental brainwaves for a day, I mean, that's hugely meaningful. I will tell you, both when you approached me and said, hey, by the way, you're one of my guys, like I've known you for years, it was still meaningful, right? It wasn't just, oh, of course you are. It was meant something, right? And I've seen that with other conversations too, where someone's like, wow, me? And it's like, yeah, dude, you're my brother, you're my friend. So even something as simple as that, again, it doesn't make all the problems go away, but it does break through that lie of isolation, right? Satan loves to divide and conquer because he knows that we're weak on our own. So this really works in a very direct way, regardless of what other ministries you're participating with. Please keep doing that. They're great. This undergirds all of that, right? I mean, imagine being able to show up at a parish that you've never been to before because you're traveling and you see that guys are taking the pledge. Hey, how's your pledge going, man? And they know what you're talking about and they can check in with you. It's the whole beauty of the Catholic Church, right? You go anywhere in the world and it's still the Mass, right? What if you go anywhere in the world and you know you've got kind of a baseline connection with these other men? How transformative would that be?
Absolutely. So we're going to get into now talking about how does it work? How are we supporting you on your first 30 days of taking this pledge? We've created some resources, so let's get into that.